I hope that they do try and make some kind of sort of social commentary about how would a corporate entity govern a
Yeah.
nation. Because we're getting obviously dangerously close to that kind of thing
You ought to be
currently.
in pictures. You're wonderful to see. You ought to be in pictures. Oh, what a
So, James, the new Alien Earth just dropped on Disney here in Hong Kong. I think it's on Hulu in other parts of the world.
Hmm.
And the first two episodes dropped. And you being I'm an Alien fan. I even got my Nostromo t-shirt on for this review. Wayland Yutani, Building Better Worlds. But I think you're an even bigger Alien fan than myself. So, what are your thoughts on the first two episodes of Alien Earth?
Yeah, I would count myself as a big Alien franchise fan, and I mean, I love just how crazy it gets. It's one of those franchises where sort of canon doesn't. They play fast and loose with it. I think probably only the Godzilla franchise is more openly disrespectful of its own of its own
Canon.
canonical past. Yeah, so I mean, this has been in the works for quite a long time. I think it got delayed because of the pandemic and then got delayed because of the strikes. I think they were halfway through shooting the first episode and then they had to stop for 6 months or something because of the strikes. So it's been around for a while. It's encouraging to know that Ridley Scott is a creative force behind it. He's like an executive producer giving it his blessing. But then that's not to say Ridley Scott is the be all and end all of the Alien franchise, because he has, there are definitely things in Prometheus and Alien Covenant that I don't like.
Yeah.
He introduced like the black goo and all of that stuff, and I think that just created a lot of problems. That all that said, this is set 2 years before Alien, so that gives them a great deal of creative freedom. So characters don't need to be aware of anything that's happened already. They can just jump in and do whatever they want without worrying about treading on the toes. I think the only thing that they might have to worry about later down the line is, why does nobody know about the aliens
Yeah.
if all of this has already happened? But like I said, that's all fine. That's just
Yeah.
how media works.
And at least
So
on the first two episodes, it seems like they've steered a little clear of Prometheus and that
sure.
incarnation of the Alien franchise. You can see they're really tacking into the original film. Like particularly the first episode, for me, it really captured that feel
Mm.
of the 1970s Alien.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, you definitely got that in Alien Romulus, didn't you? That they were really leaning heavily into sort of
Yeah.
the production design and the tone and the pace, particularly at the beginning of that movie, as with the first movie. And this one opens, yeah, with a number of shots around the ship
Mhm.
is reminiscent of the opening of Alien. So I guess the closest you get to the existing franchise is we open with a Weyland Yutani ship.
Mhm.
That has been collecting specimens of different alien species from around the universe, and they are heading home. And then, for reasons unknown as yet unclear, an alien or aliens get out, and the
Don't they
android,
always? Don't they
yeah,
always?
and the android character seals himself in the mother ship, literally the mother cubicle. All other all other mission prerogatives come secondary to bring the specimens home safely, and he lets the whole crew die, and then he crash lands on Earth. I suspect we might get like some flashbacks, or maybe even a whole flashback episode later on about what happened on the ship, just because some of the cast are actors that are maybe a little bit too big just to have that one sort of
Mhm.
scene at the beginning. So I wouldn't be at all surprised if we have some kind of explanation later on about what went down there, whether how
Yeah.
much of it was deliberate, maybe even where they found the species. But it's interesting, we're introduced to a world where there are five big corporations who run everything. There doesn't seem to be any government per se, but it's all corporate structures. Wayland Yutani being one of them, and what's the other? What's the big one here called?
Prodigy is
Prodigy. Thank you. Yeah,
yeah.
Prodigy, run by Boy Cavalier, the
Yeah.
world's
The
youngest
boy
trillionaire.
genius.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, boy
And
genius.
then you've also got a very strong sort of Peter Pan theme going on.
Yeah.
Because I guess he is Peter Pan. He is the boy who never wants to grow up. He's called his research facility Neverland. You have Wendy and the Lost Boys, and so you're like, okay, all right, yeah, we're doing a Peter Pan thing here. I'm not sure how long they're going to stretch that out for, or whether that's it. It's just some naming stuff. And then I suppose the other important thing really is that you've got sort of 3 different types of sort of artificial person, shall we say. You've got cyborgs, like the android on the ship, which is a human. Isn't he a human with upgrades? Is it that way around?
Oh, was he? I thought he was a synth. No, he's not a synth then.
I think they kept calling him a cyborg. So he was at one point human, but then his arms can do funny things, don't they? They have guns and tools and stuff. Right. I think they were calling him a cyborg. And then the synths are completely artificial people
Timothy Olyphant's character.
Like Timothy the Oliphant. And then you've got hybrids, which are the new tech, which is what Wendy is, which is like a human consciousness that has been supplanted into an artificial body. And Wendy is the youngest, or rather, Marcy, the girl who was put into Wendy, is the youngest person ever to have that done successfully. And the Lost Boys are all similarly; they were all sick children. It's introducing a lot of sort of lore and backstory, but a lot of it is kind of new and different. So I think that is a smart way to go. Yeah, rather than building on existing stuff. But I think that there's a good reason why the franchise has always resisted doing Aliens on Earth, because it will get very unwieldy very, very quickly. It's a bit like the Jurassic Park franchise, and why they've always tried to resist, the aliens, the dinosaurs of getting loose in the real world, because it would just get nuts very quickly and be very expensive and very difficult to do. So in the later Jurassic World movies, when that has happened, they've kind of steered the story away from it as quickly as possible. And I think that's why up until now, the Alien franchise has avoided that.
That's interesting, James, because the first 2 episodes kind of highlight that challenge that they have, because the first episode really deals with the world building. Like, here are the corporations, here is the new tech involved, here are these new characters we're introducing, and this is the world that this show is going to inhabit. Okay. And then episode 2 kind of goes into the more traditional Monster of the Week episode, where we're going to have terrified people running around, making stupid decisions, doing dumb things, which got irritating in the second episode, if I'm honest. I found that less interesting than the world building.
Sure.
So to me, the more that this show going forward leans into geopolitics, character development, and that sense of what is this world going to unfold? Like what's going to unfurl here? With the alien as kind of a garnish. It's out there. It interjects itself occasionally and often drives what the decisions that are being made over here in the world building. But if they just focus in on character after character running around a corner and having the alien coming in that classic scene right behind their head, that's going to get very old very quick. And so my hope is that the writers and the showrunners understand this. And they've given us kind of, okay, now we've done the Monster of the Week. We know we're going to have people running around occasionally, and there's going to be really nasty things happening to them. But if that becomes the staple, this is going to become really boring really quick.
Yeah, I suspect that will be the case, because I don't think anybody really wants to watch alien movies just to see aliens attack people. I don't think that's very interesting for anybody to watch. I think it is always about corporate greed and them screwing individuals over. And then the developments of the tech.
Billionaires getting their just desserts,
Absolutely. And here they've got like a real opportunity to pit these companies against one another. To date, I don't think we've had any other corporate entity other than Weyland-Yutani. So the fact that we're actually established, right from the get-go, we're on the side of another company. If you're on anybody's side, you're on Prodigy's side, right? Because of Wendy. She's obviously our sympathetic protagonist, and she is the spawn of that company.
By the way, Sydney Chandler is incredible in this.
She's great, right?
I mean, she is really good. If I'm honest, I have a bit of a crush on her. She invokes, you know what I like about her, just as a little side tangent here, is I was thinking about why I enjoy her character so much. Is she's powerful without, as we've talked about before, they don't have to demonstrate her as a woman why she is strong.
Mm,
Like she's just a well fleshed out character. She's a girl who's been put into a woman's body, and
mm.
she's coming to terms with what it's like to bypass a lot of physical developmental stages, which the natural child should go through. And they've chosen to focus on that rather than, I mean, obviously they show us scenes where she's super strong and she can jump far and all this kind of thing because of her synthetic body. But the person inside it is really interesting. And
Mm.
she has really adopted this Wendy persona where she becomes kind of the quasi mother to these Lost Boys. Now, my thought is with the Lost Boys, they're either going to have to do some episodes where they develop their characters so we actually care about them. Because right now it's Wendy and this nameless, faceless group that I don't care about.
Agreed.
So you either got to kill them and have Wendy running around, or you're going to have to flesh out these characters more. And granted, we're only 2 episodes in, so it's not a big criticism. But again, right now, if they live or die, it's not going to affect my viewing in the slightest.
I wouldn't be at all surprised if what we see is it maybe even as early as the next episode or something. They all get wiped out and she gets left on her own.
Yeah.
That kind of makes sense in terms of a traditional arc. She'll be there with her brother, and that'll be it, and they'll be forced to sort of survive on their own terms in this alien infested city. Because of how much they have put into sort of the backstory and what have you, but how many questions have remained unanswered, I wouldn't be at all surprised if it kind of jumps around time-wise as well. Like I said, stuff more about the ship, more about the founding of these other entities. I don't know why they would have established that there are 5 corporate entities unless they're all going to be important. Particularly as I said already, we're used to there only being one.
Yeah, yeah.
And because they have supplanted normal government leadership by the sounds of it as well, because they're like, oh, this company owns Earth and owns Saturn and like that. So you're like, okay, all right, so they totally govern. And I hope that they do try and make some kind of sort of social commentary about how would a corporate entity govern a nation. Because we're getting obviously dangerously close to that kind of thing currently. So let's have a bit of commentary there.
Yeah, I mean, the writers can even go really Dune-esque, and you have the different factions,
Mm-hmm.
and you can even personify them, where each faction, almost like in Rollerball, this corporation was the energy corporation, this was the transportation corporation, this was the, whatever corporation. You could have the different conglomerates representing almost a different personality, like the factions within Dune, the Bene Gesserit and the guild, the Spacing Guild, and so you could kind of recreate that to a degree because that's a model that works. And then you have the Wendy character as the Kwisatz Haderach. She kind of, and that's another, just to highlight, you're talking about social commentary because there's so many things that we're dealing with in the world today with what's going on with AI, and this is all cutting edge technology. Now, granted, we're probably much closer to a synthetic being and a cyborg being, a hybrid. I think putting a consciousness. We don't even know what a consciousness is. I don't see that happening anytime soon.
How do you remove a consciousness? Yeah.
But you can easily see a cyborg, like within a few years, people having enhanced,
Well, I mean, yeah, we're
parts.
well on the way with with various sort of artificial limbs and what have you. I mean, and pacemakers and all that kind of stuff.
I was just able to climb a mountain that I wouldn't have been able to climb 5 months ago because I've got a piece of
You're more
metal.
machine now than man.
The man.
Oh, well, absolutely. So all of that side of things. Also interested the different alien species that have been introduced. I hope we get more information about them. Where they're from, what they do, and they're not just different shaped beasties that kill people. I'd like a little bit
confusing.
more.
I found it a little confusing. I mean, in Alien Romulus, we got the spider type creatures.
Well, I don't think they're supposed
But
to be related. Like the thing that's hanging from the ceiling and the little mantis shrimp almost like thing that
yeah,
goes in. I don't think they're all supposed to be sort of steps in the evolutionary chain of the same being. I think because it was a research vessel that was collecting different samples. It was on a 65-year mission, remember, which is a really long window of time. So my assumption is that these are completely unrelated species, maybe even from different planets, from different systems, whatever. But they all are hostile to one degree or another. Or actually, the one hanging from the ceiling, we don't know if it's hostile. It's certainly inquisitive, right? It has this thing that kind of looks at people. But I hope they explore that more than it merely being all this stuff will kill you, because that would be a bit boring.
In a 65-year trip to bring back specimens, they couldn't bring back anything fuzzy and cute.
Well, who knows? Maybe they all just got squished in the crash. But
Maybe.
well, yeah, I mean, but maybe there's more stuff in the labs that didn't,
Yeah.
so it didn't all break out and immediately start killing
It's
people.
all going to be revealed in James' prescient forecast backstory episode, which is forthcoming, no doubt.
Yeah, I hope so.
Actually, it would be brilliant. I would love to see something like that. In fact, if they start doing that nonlinear storytelling, that could get really interesting. I'm already on board on this. Like I said,
Sure.
I found the second episode a little bit uninteresting, especially compared to the first episode. I found the brother. I hope they soup that brother up a little bit.
I don't like that actor. I don't like that actor anyway. I've seen him in a few other things.
Who cast this guy, man?
He was in 3 Body Problem, the Netflix adaptation of the Chinese sci-fi novel. And I didn't really like his character in that. He was in a TV show that I did like called It's the End of the Fucking World or something like that, which was a kind of British story. But he plays a really kind of kooky, oddball, unlikable character in that. When I saw it was him and that he's supposed to be like this incredibly important character, that sort of drives her personal quest. I'm just like, ugh. But they're together now, right? So he can die now and she can move on.
That's because she's the best thing in this show. She's even better at this point than Timothy Oliphant, and I'm a huge Timothy Oliphant fan.
For sure. Definitely. Agreed. I mean, it'd be interesting. I mean, Boy Cavalier's motivation for everything, it seems to be that he wants to have a conversation with somebody more intelligent than him, and that's why he's created Wendy, essentially. So that needs to pay off, in
which I don't understand why that would be the case, because she's essentially just a young girl who's been put in a synth body, not particularly smart.
But I think he is. I think the assumption is that it's her, right? And maybe she's in just a learning computer. The technology is there for her to grow and absorb everything around her and what have you. But also he's poised for a big sort of diplomatic / corporate battle with certainly Yutani, if not the Waylands as well, right? Over ownership of all of this stuff, and he doesn't even know that any of it exists yet. So we'll see. Yeah, I mean, am I loving it so far? I'm certainly intrigued by it. It has caught my attention. I'm on board. And there's certainly still room for them to screw it all up.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
For sure.
There's a lot of directions they could go with this.
Yeah,
a lot of them good, a lot of them bad.
Right. But we shall see. I mean, because I certainly know from my appreciation of the Alien franchise that I'm willing to give it pretty quite a long leash, shall we say? To explore stuff, as long as it does explore stuff.
Well, that's what James and I think about the first 2 episodes of Alien Earth. I'm sure we'll come back in subsequent episodes, maybe to review which direction we went, to see if we were right, whether we're wrong, whether James's idea of a backstory filler, what happened to that ship in the first episode, is explained to us. There's a lot of directions they can go. But before we go further, remember to hit that subscribe button, because the algorithm would love to be able to send you more deep dive movie reviews here at YouTube. James?
Yeah, exactly. Feed the beast, help us pop up in more people's feeds so that we can share our thought and engage with the our audience and grow that audience. So yeah, what did you think of the first 2 episodes of Alien? Where do you think it's going? Are you on board? Where would you like to see it go? Let us know. Let's keep the dialogue going. And then, Steve, I'd love to do like an episode at the end
Yeah.
Just weighing up the entire season. Maybe there's going to be, I don't know what the plans are in terms of future seasons. I guess it'll all depend on how well this is received. But yeah, we'll come back and we'll assess more, and we might even address some of the points that you raise in the comments, should you care to do so.
Till next episode. Bye-bye.
You're wonderful to see. You ought to be in pictures. Oh, what a hit you would be. Your voice